and telling stories.
Choose your words.
Words, words, words.
What characters do you want in your story?
What style?
I'm going to write a ghost story.
I'm going to write a romance.
What words can I use?
Comedy.
Horror.
Detective.
Science fiction.
What does it mean?
It's all about the words you choose.
My name's Murray. I'm about to do something which is either crazy, stupid, or really brave. Maybe it's all three. I'm looking for a girl in our class. I've got something for her. Don't ask me why Maz has to come along. He's my best mate, but he's absolutely useless. That's her, Sab. She's clever and sort of pretty. Well, really pretty actually. Everyone likes her. So why am I messing about? If I want to talk to her, why am I sitting over here? Well, you know when you make your mind up about something, then it suddenly feels like a really bad idea. That's what's worrying me. Maybe that's why I brought Maz along.
You gonna give it to her or what?
The great thing about Maz is he's not too big in the thinking stuff. He's more of an action man, mate. And now it's time for action.
What's this?
Take a look. Sab had this new best mate, Liam. He'd come from some other school, full of stories about how big his house was and his dad's flash car. But we knew different.
It's all true.
We did some digging around. You can find out a lot about people, if you know how to look.
You could have made this stuff up.
Why don't we just ask him?
Okay, so things don't always go to plan. It had never crossed our minds that Liam would admit to everything and that Sab would forgive him. And now I'm the bad guy.
Liam's sorry now, about lying and everything.
Oh, well, that's all right then. I don't get it. He lied to you.
I know, and I knew. I knew he was lying all the time.
What?
My cousin went to his old school. You don't know him at all. It's not easy for him, with his dad and where he has to live.
That's still no reason to lie.
He lied because he wanted people to like him. He wanted some mates. Think about it. What's this?
Take a look.
What have you done now, Professor Murray? Found a black hole at the bottom of your garden. Built a nuclear reactor in your garage. What's this supposed to be?
Watch your numbers.
So what? My dad checks our numbers off the TV like everyone else, and we never win. And if we miss them, then I'd just get them out of the paper, wouldn't I?
You wouldn't get these out of the paper. They're the numbers for next Saturday's draw.
For someone who's invented a time machine, I really should think things through better. When word gets round about those lottery numbers, everyone's going to want a piece of the action. How could I forget the first rule of time travel? Don't mess with the future.
Listen, Mary, if your stupid parents don't want £1,000,000, then that's up to them. But my dad does, so hand them over.
No, you don't know what you're doing. You can't just buy a winning ticket and change your whole future. You don't know what'll happen.
Yeah, I do. We'll get rich and move somewhere that's not this dump. That's all I need to know, so hand them over.
Maz, what are you doing?
Look, it's her future. What do I care? And I'm not getting into a fight for you.
You're not a great thinker, Maz, but you get there in the end. Smart move.
I can't believe you did that, Maz.
What? Give us some fake numbers? I'm not a great thinker, but I get there in the end.
You're a genius. But what do you do when she finds out?
Get in your time machine and get as far away from her as possible. Come on, Mum, it's our boss.
That went well. At least she said she'd read it later, as opposed to firing it straight into the bin. Yes, I'm feeling confident. Oh help, it's her. Act cool. Oh no, here we go.
Hi.
Think of something, anything. Hi. Liam seems like a nice guy. No, why did I say that? Idiot, idiot, idiot.
Yeah, he is. I liked your poem.
Oh great, she has read it. My poem about Sab, the prettiest girl in school, who is going out with Liam, the coolest lad in school.
It was really funny and sweet. But you know, I really like Liam.
Hey, she thinks I'm funny and sweet. Results. What was that about Liam?
Did you know Sarah and Darren have split up?
No, I didn't.
She's really funny, you know. A bit like you.
Who's Sarah?
Anyway, we'll maybe see you tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, Sarah. I think I feel another poem coming on. Sarah, Sarah, could I wear her heart upon my sleeve? Maybe needs a bit more work.
It seemed to me the most important thing was to have a really interesting question at the start of your story.
My name's Murray. I'm about to do something which is either crazy, stupid, or really brave. Maybe it's all three.
The key to telling a story is to keep a little bit of information back. So you give people just enough information so that they understand what's going on, but there's some really important bit of information that they need to know about, but you keep it back. You don't let them know it. So, for example, in the envelope story, it's what's in the envelope. And when you ask yourself the question, what's in the envelope, you can come up with whatever answer you like and take the story in different directions. So it could become a romantic story if it's a love letter. It could become kind of a thriller story if it's some information about someone else in the school that that you found out something that no one else knows.
You could have made this stuff up.
Why don't we just ask him?
What if, in that envelope there happened to be next week's lottery numbers? Where does the story go from there?
Listen, Mary, if your stupid parents don't want £1 million, then that's up to them, but my dad does, so hand him over.
So keeping in mind when you're trying to write a story, it's what if this happened, what if that happened, where would it take my story?
Do you ever wonder if you're completely in control of your own life? We like to think the choices we make are our own choices. But there may be times when our path is already set out for us. We do not know that it's happening, but we feel it. Some other force at work guiding our footsteps. He thought the house was not welcoming. It seemed to him a little cold. Perhaps that was why the girl behind the desk was so pale.
Excuse me, are you open?
Yeah,
How much is it to get in?
£3.
Cheers. Thanks. It was supposed to be a break from work. A couple of days holiday in the country. Nice and quiet. Peaceful. Yeah, right. There was something about the girl that felt wrong. It was the way... And this sounds crazy, but... It was the way she sold me the ticket. It was like she'd never done it before. And then I got this feeling. Now, I'm not bragging, but... In my line of work, you get this kind of sixth sense. You know when someone's watching you.
Preston had no idea what was going on, but something told him it was not quite right.
There's a guy in the house, so he'd probably hurry up to...
Come on.
Maybe they were moving furniture for the owners, but he didn't think so. The only problem now was how to stop them. Wrapping up a case like this is all about being patient and then taking your chance. Of course, it doesn't always work out unless you get lucky.
Police.
I recognised him straight away. He didn't know who I was. How could he? He changed a lot, of course. We were just children back then. I remember spending hours watching him from my bedroom window. I really didn't know what I was going to do, so I just followed him. I remembered how much I was in love with him, even though we were only really young. I just wanted to be with him. It felt so good to see him again. To be watching him. Especially when he didn't even know I was there.
Hey, come back! Excuse me. Why are you following me?
Look, I'm really sorry. You don't know me.
The girl explained that she'd recognised him from when they were children and how they'd lived quite close to each other. Her bedroom had overlooked his garden and she'd watched him play. It was a sad story. A childhood illness prevented her from leaving her room, but it had been such a comfort for her to watch him playing.
If you want me to take you round?
Yeah, if you got the time.
She offered to show him around the rest of the house. Perhaps he would like to see the other rooms.
It's just through here.
It's nice.
The room wasn't that interesting, but he wanted to say something positive about it because he was beginning to like her.
Yeah, I suppose it's quite nice.
But when he turned, he realised there was something in her smile that had changed.
Hey! Hey, where are you going? Where are you going?
People are not always easy to understand. They sometimes do strange things that seem unfair or hurtful. Locked in a room at the very top of the silent house, he could only wonder, why? It looked as if he would have more time to spend unravelling this mystery than he would have liked.
felt really cold, which is weird because I got a sweat when I was walking. It was like all the heat had been sucked out of me. And the girl was pretty weird too. She kept on staring at me like I shouldn't have been there or something. I hate it when people are like that. The house was full of creepy old stuff, and no one else was around, which made it worse. I kept thinking someone was watching me. Stupid, I know.
It seemed to Nick that he did not belong there, that he had been drawn into this house against his will, and now it was too late. But he was someone who was unwilling to accept what fate had in store for him. He did not fear death or the dead. Of course, sometimes we're so sure we know what's happening, we fail to understand the one vital piece of information that unlocks the secret to the story.
We'd been watching the kid for some time. He looked like a nice kid, but we knew there was something funny going on in that building. That's why we had our top detective trailing him. Which was just as well, because the backup team spent more time arguing than solving the case. And the professor, well, he thought his wife was long dead, but we knew she'd been seen with some well-known criminals 2 weeks ago. So was there any connection between the old lady and the kid? That's what we had to find out.
When Luke Jackson left the house that morning, he had no idea where he was going. He just wanted to get as far away from his family as possible. Surely anything would be better than this dump. He decided to run away. He didn't get on with his stepsister Becky. She was older than him, and it's true, she was quite a bossy girl. She got her own way about everything. And his mum and stepdad were usually too busy arguing to pay him any attention. They probably wouldn't even notice he'd gone. As for Grandad, he just spent all his time on the computer thinking about the past. Luke didn't care if he never saw any of his family ever again. But he might have thought twice if he'd known what was about to happen.
speak for long. No, I'm on the train. It might cut out at any moment. I'll explain it all later when I get back. I'm coming into a tunnel. I'm losing you. Yes? No, it's all fine. Well, I think I've sorted it all out. We'll just have to wait. Well, I don't want him to know about it yet. Well, can you meet me in the cafe on the high street? Yeah, okay. I'll be there in 10 minutes.
I don't believe it.
Dear Mrs. MacDonald, you'll be surprised to get this letter from me. I know we haven't spoken in a long time, and we did not part on good terms, but I finally found out where you were living now, and I thought I'd better prepare you for a shock. I am your long-lost brother. We're brother and sister, and I started to research your family tree.
In the end, it was clear the kid was the one behind it all. He was some kind of compulsive liar. It was like he just couldn't stop making up stories. He even told his sister Poppy that her boyfriend had been two-timing her, so she finished with him. One way or another, he caused a lot of trouble that summer. But he wasn't responsible for what happened to the old lady. She'd told the professor she was going to teach deprived children in care. Said she just needed a bit of space. Turns out the kid wasn't the only liar in that family.
Luke was glad to be home. It had certainly been an unusual day. After what he'd been through, he felt like he was never going to complain about his family again. He was so glad to see them all. He didn't care if they still spent most of their time arguing. It would still be better than where he'd been. And Becky? He knew now that he'd been wrong about her. She really had been a good sister all along, and she'd helped him get out of a very tricky situation when he was in real trouble. As for Grandad, Luke was going to enjoy giving him a big hug and listening to his stories about the old days.
You have to keep this to yourself or a lot of people won't be very happy. But Michelle has asked me to be chief bridesmaid at the wedding. I don't know why I did it. It's not like me at all. It's just... You made that remark about my accent and I don't know, I just lost the plot. I shouldn't have spoken to you like that. I'm sorry. Oh, come on now, pick yourself up. Did you have a nasty fall? Oh, don't cry. Come here and give us a big cuddle. Shows what a brave boy you are. That's it. Come here. much longer is the water going to be off for? I mean, this is the 3rd time this month. Can you please explain to me when it's going to be back on? And if you can't, can you give me the number of someone who can? This is the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me. I mean, is this really happening? I can't believe it. I mean, I've never won anything before in my whole life. And now I've won this. I can't believe it. Thank you so much. I'm off to the Bahamas with £1,000 spent in money. Last week we sold out of that magazine by the middle of the week. So I think, looking ahead, we should increase our orders for that title as it seems very popular. James, could you sort that out, please? Oh, come on, Sam. We're going to that pizza place you love in the high street. I don't want to go with a whole bunch of people I don't know. I know you're not feeling well, but oh, please, just for me, just this once. I have reached my limit. Once in a blue moon is fine, but 3 nights in a row coming in at all hours of the morning is just not on. How do I know you've not been in a terrible accident? That is it. No more. I haven't had a new car for a few years now, and what with the family getting bigger, I just thought we should be looking at something larger. So that's what the money's for, to buy a bigger car for all of us. Jude, I know I've not been very good at keeping in touch, and I wish I could have been around more when you were little. But I was older and I thought you were a wee pain in the neck. But you're my little sister, and I love you very much.